it's not so much getting rid of that personality trait, it's more so learning how to control it. How's it going, guys? Miguel here with CFS Recovery. In this video, I'm going to be answering the question, the myth of, can you recover if you have a type A personality? Now, here's a very interesting fact based on what I've experienced. I've talked to hundreds of people with chronic fatigue syndrome, hundreds of people from many different countries of all different ages, and the one thing that every single person has in common is they have a type A personality before they develop CFS. This means that they were very hardworking, tended to overthink quite a bit, were very high achievers, and were always pushing themselves to be the best they can be. And whatever they did, they tended to go after it with 110% effort. I have never actually met somebody who has CFS and does not have a type A personality. So it makes you wonder, can you actually recover with this personality trait? Because one would think that if you have this trait, then as long as you have it, you would stay sick, right? Because it's that trait that leads you to overwork, to overstress, and to put yourself in a position where your body can go over its stress threshold, right? Whether someone got long COVID, whether they got some other virus, whether they had a car accident and that put lots of stress on their body, usually right before all that happened, they were already stressed to begin with. So all that was needed to put their stress threshold over its limits was a very stressful scenario. Having been somebody who also has a type A personality, I can tell you that yes, you absolutely can recover even if you have a type A personality. And the way I look at it is this: a type A personality is a double-edged sword. It's a trait that some people can look down on and say, oh, this type A personality, they just overwork themselves, or some people wish they didn't have that personality trait. And I myself, for the longest time, wished I was different. I wished I could just relax and take a day off and not feel guilty about not working or not doing something, not being active or not pushing myself to my potential. For the longest time, that was my belief, that I had to become this person that all he did was relax, was chill, and if I didn't change my type A personality, then I wouldn't be able to recover. What I realized was that it's not so much getting rid of that personality trait, it's more so learning how to control it. So there's a famous quote by none other than Uncle Ben in Spider-Man, and he says,
"With great power comes great responsibility."
And that quote could not be more true for people with a type A personality. Because while it can be viewed as a detriment, as something that caused you to get into this illness, if you learn to master that trait and use it to your advantage, then it's the biggest gift that you could possibly have. So me today, how my life looks is pretty crazy compared to how it was even before I got sick. Because before I got sick, I was overworking myself. I was constantly reading books, trying to better myself. And yes, those are good things. But when you do it to an extreme level, then you never give your body time to rest. You never allow yourself to relax and go into this rest and digest mode. Whereas now I'm way busier than I've ever been. Throughout YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, Facebook, we put out over 50 pieces of content per week. We put out over 20 videos per week, which is a lot of content to be posting. And in addition to that, I am on multiple hours of calls every single week to help people like you out who are in the program. I'm working on the back end of the program. I'm working on the marketing. I just finished writing a book. I'm working on like a documentary. So the plate is absolutely full. But at the same time, I know when I need to take days off. So I can work really hard for 3 or 4 days and run off like 5 or 6 hours of sleep per night. But I know on that 5th, 6th, and 7th day, I'm taking my foot off the gas pedal and I'm able to actually rest physically, but more importantly, mentally. I'm able to completely de-stress. When I go to my room and go on my phone or watch a show of Netflix, I am focused on that show. I'm not thinking about work. When I'm with my family, I'm not thinking about work. When I'm with my friends, I'm not thinking about work. That's a lie. I am thinking about work, but it doesn't consume me. I actually have the ability to turn that personality trait down. And it's more so like a dial, right? So if we think of our type A personality trait like a dial, our default mode is to have that turned up all the way, where we want to control everything. We want to do everything in our power to do the best we can. So what we do is, in other scenarios where that personality trait is not needed and we need to rest more or chill out more, we just turn that dial down to about there. Because I don't believe in turning it on or turning it off. It's more so of a transition. When I'm doing my work, when I'm on calls, when I'm filming videos just like this, I am in work mode. I am zoned in. As soon as I leave this room and clean up this camera, this light, everything, I'm in a different world. I'm in a different headspace. I can transition out of work mode very easily, whereas before I didn't know how to do that. So I think having that type A personality trait is a double-edged sword. You just need to know how to direct that energy. So for you, it's directing that energy to the right places, directing the energy to swatting away negative thoughts, anxiousness, worries about symptoms. Every time you have that question pop up into your mind of, am I ever gonna get better? Is there some hidden cure out there that I need to find? Which country do I need to fly out to do this special treatment? What if I have something that the doctors haven't found yet? All these questions are gonna be coming up and they're gonna be extremely worrying. And it's gonna put you in this chronic cycle, this chronic loop of anxiety that's gonna be really hard to get out of. So instead of staying in that loop, use that type A personality trait to get out of this. Focus all that energy on just swatting away those negative thoughts and swatting away those worries and that anxiousness. If you have chronic pain, use that type A personality to do the brain retraining every time you have chronic pain. And you can find an exercise right up here in this video where I break down exactly how to do the exercise that can completely remove chronic pain. I myself dealt with chronic pain that was 8, 9, 10 out of 10, 24/7, to the point where it felt like my body was burning, even though I look completely normal. So if you direct your energy towards that and just learning the knowledge on this channel, everything that I teach you on this channel, put your energy into that, then eventually you will get better. Versus putting your energy into looking at these other Facebook groups or going onto forums, Googling, how do I get better from CFS, and then reading all these horror stories of people saying they're not gonna get better. You wanna put that energy into something that is moving you forward in recovery, not keeping you stuck. And everything I share on this channel, I do it to help you guys. So dive deep into the content on this channel. Use that type A personality to your advantage. So if you have a type A personality, don't worry. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean that you will never recover. In fact, if you learn how to harness this tool, this personality trait, which is a gift, then you will have a much higher quality of life. And sometimes it takes something like CFS to teach you how to harness that power. For me, it took me 4.5 years until I learned how to harness that power, to be able to turn down that knob on the type A personality. And now I'm very grateful for it because I can work very hard, I can get very hyper-focused, but I can also turn that down and enjoy myself, right? I can spend a weekend not working at all and truly enjoy the weekend versus being physically there with friends or family, but mentally my head is at work. And I didn't know how to do that before. So that's all I have to say about a type A personality. It's totally doable to recover if you have this personality trait. I still have the personality trait, and every single person in Recovery Jumpstart and every single person that I've talked to online has the same personality trait as well. It's not so much the personality trait that determines if they will recover or not. It really comes down to, do they follow the principles of recovery? Because recovery comes down to a certain formula. If you follow a few basic principles, then recovery becomes inevitable. So it's just a matter of following the right principles and putting your energy in the right places. So I hope you got some value out of this video. Again, if you wanted to learn more about that brain retraining for chronic pain, I've created a video which breaks that down very simply. Right up here, you could click there. Very simple watch, and I show you exactly how you can use it for your chronic pain. And if you needed some extra help in recovery, if you wanted some extra support and you wanted to have these kind of conversations but live with other people in your similar situation, then make sure to click the link down below. You can apply to the Recovery Jumpstart program, where you're going to be part of a group of thrivers who are highly motivated, positive, and they're putting in the work needed to recover. And when you're surrounded by people who are recovering, it just becomes normal to recover as well. Now, the subscriber comment highlight for this video is from Lewis, and this comment hits home because it's just such an amazing, inspiring story. And Lewis commented on the video titled 100 Blood Tests and Bedridden to Living Life. It's a video about Mitsuo's transformation to go from being completely bedridden 97% of the day to being able to play soccer, hang out with his friends, go on a family vacation, go to the movies, and really start to rebuild his life. And so Lewis is Mitsuo's father, and he writes, "Miguel, gratefulness is an understatement for your guidance in my son's recovery process. At times, the ordeal was so unbearable that we felt numb and had to avoid thinking too much, otherwise we would break down and collapse. What my lad has gone through and what we as parents have had to withstand is the sort of hardship that not even the most evil of the nightmares can conceive. I pray your guidance helps millions out there who are broken and discouraged so that they can come out of the darkness and behold the light again. All the very best, whatever the future may hold. Miguel." From Lewis. Mitsuo's dad. And if you haven't already, definitely watch that recovery video. He still had some symptoms here and there. He's still recovering, but he's well on his way. And the place he's currently at is 100 times better than where he was just a few months ago when he joined the program. You can watch that video up here. I highly recommend that. One of the most powerful videos on this channel. So thank you for that comment, Lewis. And I really look forward to seeing your son's progress unfold even more. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that notification bell and always remember that you are just one mind shift away from living a life of thriving health. I'll see you in the next video.